Last season there were a number of new faces. We saw Morgan from Walking Dead crossover. Yes. Get this, guys, in season 5 is going to be another familiar face coming. We're going to have Austin, who played Dwight from Walking Dead, coming over. And at the end of last season, we saw that our survivors were going to start this mission to take care of people and help people, but we will find that not everybody wants help. Huh? So it's going to be a little rough. Now, I'm going to show you this trailer, but before we start, there are some moments that might be a little rough for the children, the babies. So if there's some babies here and your mama's here, y'all talk it out together before we show this, all right? All right, I want to tell you this also. The new season debuts on Sunday, June 2nd on AMC, so it's around the corner. You can catch up on the first 4 seasons on Hulu. That's new. Let's get into that. And now, we're going to show you the trailer. Y'all ready? Showrunners and executive producers, Andrew Chambliss and Ian Goldberg. Come on out, guys. Say hello to the unbreakable Morgan Jones, Lenny James. The beautiful and badass Alicia Clark, played by Alisia Debnem-Keri. The dashing Victor Strand, our Coleman Domingo. New series regular, the talented Alexa Neeson, who plays Charlie. The love of all our lives, Luciana, played by the gorgeous Denai Garcia. The amazingly decent John Dory, our Garrett Dillahunt. June, Laura, Naomi, the talented, gorgeous, and smart Jenna Elfman. This lovely lady plays the brave Althea Maggie Gray. You know him as our Dwight. Welcome, Austin Amelio. Executive producer and chief content officer of the TWD Universe, Scott M. Gimbo. And last but not least, co-executive producer and director Michael Satrazemas. Give it up, you guys. Give it up. Hi, everybody. How you guys doing? Everybody good? Hi, guys. So let's start off with it. Andrew and Ian, we saw a familiar face. Was that Daniel Salazar coming out in the trailer?
That was, in fact.
What can you tell us about his return?
Well, we are huge fans of Ruben.
What? You guys, I'm so shocked. Ruben Blades is here. It's actually Ruben Blades, but I did that for those that need that Blades. People need that Blades, but it's actually Blades. Okay. Welcome, Ruben. All right, so Alicia. Hi. Hi, okay, you're like original recipe Fear the Walking Dead, so you have filmed now in Vancouver, LA, Mexico, and Texas. What has been your favorite place to film so far?
I'm gonna be basic and say LA. Because that's like where I live, and
right.
Like really, it was home. I was like, oh my god, I get to like go home now. Yeah, I mean, it's all been incredibly interesting though. Every place has been great. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna go to some general quick questions. Anybody can get in where they want to get in. What do you guys do on set between takes to pass the time?
We make pop videos.
I think you're lying.
They make dance videos.
No, it's true.
Is it true?
Oh yeah.
They spend all of their time dancing to music and filming it.
Right.
That's what they do.
Do these live somewhere online where I can see them? Instagram videos? What are these? Can I get a Dropbox of somebody sending me some videos? I'll push them out if somebody sends them to me.
Well, I'm thinking now you're doing like a hair and makeup trailer as well.
Yeah.
Oh, hair and makeup
Have,
trailer,
like,
that's for the dance part.
Friday boogie.
Friday boogie.
lunchtime.
The way that we deal with it, because the entire crew watches do these things, we just tell them, this is content for when it's ready, like, right? We're gonna save this content.
But then it never gets pushed out. It's just on phones. This is another just a random question. What is your favorite craft services food?
Good
Gummy
question.
bears.
Gummy bears. I want to go down the line. Everybody's got one.
I like the pretzel peanut butter. Awesome. vehicles.
You say a brand, they might send it to you. You might want to rethink your answer. Skinny Pop popcorn. Anybody else?
I like the kind bars.
Isn't it good? Skinny Pop is really... Andrew likes Skinny Pop popcorn too. Yes.
You know, there was, this is about catering rather than craft services. Craft services is, you know, your red vines, your M&Ms, that sort of thing.
Yes.
Catering is more like lunch. I will say we were deep in Texas. Deep Texas.
Deep in the heart.
It was 140 degrees out, and catering made something with sea urchin in it,
Nope.
which I thought was an aggressive play.
That was aggressive. That was very aggressive.
And you know what? They pulled it off.
It was
There was
delicious.
no illness.
Flown in from Japan.
Flown in from Japan. Y'all got a budget?
Special meal.
We will.
But I thought, I was impressed, I'll just say that.
Scott, since I have your attention, we see that Morgan and Austin crossed over. Will there be any more other crossovers, and is there anything you can tell us about the greater Walking Dead universe?
Mr. Hardwick made a lot of fun of me this weekend.
Because you don't give a lot of stuff up.
As I don't give
Don't.
a lot of answers.
But this is me.
But this is what I'll say.
This is WonderCon. We're together. Give us something.
Okay, I'll say something super lame, and then I'll say something super cool.
Awesome.
The super lame thing is we might have like a gigantic announcement this week, but notice I use the word might.
And Scott, your this week ends up being like 6 months down the line. I know you're this week.
No, but let me say
I know these tricks.
Let me say the super cool thing. In the first half of this season on Fear the Walking Dead, we tell a beautiful and action-packed and hilarious and sad and explosive kind of story that actually has to do a lot with one of the characters here, but very much a great deal having to do with another peek into the greater universe of The Walking Dead that really puts a character
And that character's
some of
name
the
is...
things that have been going on this show and on The Walking Dead. So
Okay.
there's that, and then as far as seeing other crossovers, there is some very, the thing with Dwight, the thing with Morgan is very unusual, but there's something really cool about
There's
the
a
past,
connection.
some of these characters that we're going to see.
There's a connection between... Rick Grimes, they say. It's a connection. Okay, Alicia, we've seen you go from being a high schooler to being like this badass. Is there a certain scene or shot or stunt that you've done over the years that you've been on the show that you're like, that's my favorite? That was the most fun to do? Or even the most difficult?
Gosh, I've done so much. I'm just like, it feels like every week is a new challenge. I'm like, really, guys, what did I ever do to you? I think when we were in the basement last season, it wasn't so much that the stunt was hard, because we were just in the basement, but I do remember having to hold my breath a lot and just being really not good at it anymore. But the conditions around it were really tough. Usually it's just a layering of things. It's like, there's a storm going on, and you're in the basement, and it's flooding, and you're like, both gonna die. Like, it's this compounded stunt in itself. So I think that's what pops out the most. But this season there is definitely some pretty gnarly stuff. Yeah.
I want to know, you guys are sharing the cast with Coleman, but he's also directed you. So I would love to know what he's like as a director. What is it like to have a castmate direct you or to have this wonderful man direct you? Anybody, jump in.
We really love him.
You know, what's really great is that he knows us really well as actors, and he has seen our journeys, you know, like face to face. So when he directs us, it's like, it's the next level, because usually we have guest directors, but now we have a director that is one of us, and gets the universe really well. So it was a really cool experience.
And Coleman's you're such a calm director too.
Yes.
Which is like what's so lovely is he's able to just, as you said, because he knows the world so well, able to just express it, what he needs with clarity, and just it's so calm and just has a great relationship with the crew, so it just falls into place. It's so nice.
And he keeps everybody smiling.
Yeah.
And he keeps everybody happy, and he's incredibly inclusive, and his directing style is just to come up and give you something to try. Why don't you just go, how about this? Why don't we do this scene purple? And you'll go, I've got no idea what that means, but I'm going to give it a go. And it turns out to be brilliant. It's a lovely opportunity that the producers and the execs offer up to the cast to step on the other side and expand the way that they tell stories. And Coleman has led from the front, and it's beautiful. It's lovely. I love the episodes when Coleman's the one in charge.
And just to say too, Coleman did a fantastic job with the episode he directed last season, episode 412. But if you thought that was good, the one he did this year will really blow you away. It is.
We said we're going to make it bigger, we're going to make it more emotional, and he delivered. We can't wait for people to see it.
And no director is as good unless you have the support from every single person. I have mentorship from like Michael Satrazemis, and if everyone, it's really, honestly, it's just indicative of our company and our crew, that they're all rallied behind you, truly. They're really rallied behind you because it means something to them to make sure you have a great experience and you have a great episode. So everyone, I personally really thank everybody. Everyone's great.
Hello, sir. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Brendan, and I've actually seen the panel last year, and it's so great to see you all again.
You too.
Thank you. Yeah, especially Alicia. Like, my friend Casey is a big fan, so she really loves you.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
You're welcome. Now, my question is...
Adorable.
Alright, so my question is, as time has passed on since Madison's death, how has Alicia developed as a leader, and has she seen Morgan as a sort of guide or mentor in her journey?
Morgan and Alicia's pairing is very interesting. I think they both are trying to wrestle with the same philosophical questions of, what is the reason to keep going? Why do we want to keep going? Like, what's the point? And I think she does see him as a sort of mentor, because he does take her under her wing and try to convince her that there is more to this, and that, we have to do better things to make up for what we've done, and that it can be a really positive thing to do, and it can give you hope, and it can give you a sense of reason and purpose. So definitely that, and I think she needs it too. Everything she's been through, she's lost so many people, and she's become very much this guarded warrior, and that's what she prides herself in, and that's what she thinks is the only thing she can do, which is just fight and kill. And I think he's one of the people that knows there's so much more to that and wants to get her to start trusting again. Yeah.
Good answer. Hello, dear.
Hi.
What's your name?
Anna.
Hi.
So my question's for Alicia, and it's, how has all the emotional turmoil that she's been through since season 1, losing her family pretty much, really is going to help her become a bigger leader this season? And by the way, I love you.
So much, she said. So much. Not just love, but so much
Oh my
love.
God, so sweet. Thank you.
It's been a real delight to be with a character this long and see her grow from being a high school student to becoming this fierce warrior. And although there's so much tragedy that's happened, I think it's given her all the tools to be such a capable young woman, and she's obviously so, could do the apocalypse. But I think really what we'll see more going forward is her trying to reason with what to do next, and is there hope, and that's what really will make her a better person and leader throughout it all, because if you can't connect to the humanity of it, then I don't think you've got anything left.
All right, thank you. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Gabby,
Hi, Gabby.
and my question's for Alicia again.
A whole bunch of people up here. I love her too, but come on, y'all. All right, go ahead. So it's okay.
No big deal, guys.
It's the bows. They love the bows. Let's go.
I just
just want to start by saying that I love you, Alicia. And my question is, your character obviously is a badass, and she's done so many great things, but she's also suffered a lot. So, of all of this emotional turmoil that she's faced, what about her character do you see in yourself?
I was talking about this earlier. It's a funny one because I've played this character for such a long time, and often I find as an actor you draw upon the things that are already within you, especially with this character because she is like similar in age and kind of I've grown up with her in a sense, and a lot of the environment around you that you're in does determine how you're drawing upon different things, and so it's tricky sometimes. Those lines start to merge and you are extracting really big parts of your emotional well, and you're thinking like, wait, is this me, or is this like what's different, what's the same? And I mean, in response though, I think I become very different when I'm off the job. Like, I mean, I've bows in my hair, for God's sake. Like, I've gone like all out at the opposite end. But yeah, I think there are a lot of similarities, but you know, I try and keep work as work too.
This is sadly our last question. It's okay.
But look what you're wearing.
But look who's giving it!
Yes.
Pretty awesome!
Can we just give it up for you?
Come on, guys! What's your name?
Jasper.
Hi.
My question is for the whole cast. What would you say, personality-wise, is the biggest difference between yourself and your character in the show?
Let's go down the line quickly. We got time.
I'm not as brave as Morgan.
I'm so much more gullible. It's like
I'm not cynical at all.
No, he's not.
I'm gonna have to be the same as Alicia. I'm a super girly girl too.
I feel the same.
They are pretty girly guys.
All the girls are
John's a lot more talkative.
And you are? That's true. Now that's true.
I just think June's experienced so much more loss than I personally have, that actually then defines, it affects her personality, and then her having been with him and having a rebirth, that's a lot more layers, I think, than I personally have.
Al's really become inured to violence and feels sort of apathetic around it. I don't.
It's probably braver than I am.
I trust people more than Salazar does.
You guys, this has been an amazing hour of wonderful news about Fear the Walking Dead. Thank you guys. June 2nd. You can catch up on the first 4 seasons where? Oh! All right, you guys, please thank these wonderful people with your applause. Thank you guys.
Let's hear it for AMC's Fear the Walking Dead and all our special guests and showrunners and special guest moderator, Miss Yvette.